It's a white people thing. Being an immigrant is tough. You have to adjust to a new way of life in a country that may or may not accept you. Maybe you have to apply for a driver's license or learn a new language. You're in a strange new world, and the pressure is on for you to fit in and push out your original identity. It seems like hard work is the only language this country understands. You work hard, day in and day out. You make it your goal to work harder than these Westerners. You've been looking for an opportunity to prove yourself and climb the social ladder, and it's finally come. Your hard work pays off and you buy a property, then another, and another. Pretty soon you're doing better than the average Westerner. You drive bigger cars than them and live in bigger houses. You're a big shot at the mandir, mosque, or gurdwara. But most importantly, you get to give your children all the opportunity you never had. You beam with pride at your own hard work and the positive effect it's brought to your family. You've made it in this land. Then, while going out one day, you see a bunch of people with masks in a queue formation. Some of them are holding TVs displaying a looping video. Some of these people are talking with the public, while others still are holding signs that read, "Meat is murder" or "Dairy is scary." You scoff. You and others like you work harder than the average native born, and it shows. These people care about what? People eating meat, eggs, and milk? If they were in your native country, they would be laughed at and would be begging on the street the next day. These Westerners have too much given to them and too much time. Your child tugs on your sleeve. They're still young, but old enough to vaguely understand what the protest is about, even if they don't get all the details. "What's all this about?" your child asks. They have their own ideas, but want to confirm with you. You act like you just noticed the protesters and give a quick reply. It's a white people thing. One of the demonstrators is walking up to you. You grab your child's arm and walk away. You don't have time for this nonsense. You make sure not to make any further eye contact with any of the animal people. You only make it a few steps before you stop. Your child isn't moving with you anymore. They've stopped. They're staring at one of the TV screens. You can make out tears in your child's eyes. For the first time, you properly look at the videos on the TVs. The one your child is staring at is showing baby chicks being placed on a conveyor belt by gloved human hands. The belt goes on for some time. It suddenly gives away and the chicks fall straight into a macerator. You see the chick's yellow fur flash for a short time before it's replaced by bloody red. Male chicks are useless to the egg industry, so on their first day of life, they're ground up. This comes from the demonstrator who was walking up to you earlier. They're kneeling down at your child's level and staring at the screen with them. You're sure that they've seen this footage and others like it so many times before, but the demonstrator still shudders when the chicks are ripped apart. The demonstrator stands up. This is the first time you get a good look at their face. Their skin tone is the same as yours. In fact, you recognize this person. You've seen them a few times at your place of worship. The demonstrator seems to have made the same connection and begins talking to you in your mother tongue. This footage is disturbing, but it is the truth. I ask that you talk to your child about what you both saw today. Perhaps you can consider making some lifestyle changes. He hands you a pamphlet. This has information to help you make the transition. Please consider doing it for the animals. Words are not coming to your mouth, and all you can do is nod. As you walk away with your child, you think back to what you said earlier. It's a white people thing. After a few minutes of walking, you take some deep breaths and kneel down to your child. Tears are still rolling down their cheeks. You wipe them away. You can't tell what's so exclusively white about what you just saw with your child. "Do you know what all this was?" you ask softly to your child. "What?" your child replies. You hold out the pamphlet in your hand. It's our thing.